Hey guys, it's Tabitha. So today we are here with a Melisandre Red Witch Game of Thrones tutorial. We have the series finale upon us. It's releasing April 14th, which should be tomorrow, so I thought it would be fun to get a little beauty tutorial in before then. Alright, let's get started. As always, we are starting with some moisturizer. We are good to go on moisturizer. So today we are going to be dealing with reshaping our face. This will be a character makeup, but it will also be something that you can incorporate in Game of Thrones watch parties and all of those kind of goodies. Today we're going to be going a little bit heavier because we are reshaping our face. So we need a good foundation to get started with. I'll be using a brush because I do want to go a little bit heavier today. So I will be working from a reference picture today, actually quite a few. It's always important to get different angles of faces, different lighting. I will be working with a few different pictures from Game of Thrones of the Red Witch. Now we are going to go in with concealer, conceal any blemishes you feel necessary. Okay, now, so since this is a bit of a brightening concealer, I'm going back in with my foundation brush, just using any excess that is on there to conceal the concealer. Okay, now that we have a base for our own face, our own skin color, I'm going to look at the reference picture and get us started. Since Melisandre is so neutral, cool tone, she's not warm at all, so definitely avoiding the Laguna bronzer today. Actually, we're going to be diving into the Jaclyn Hill palette to explore how these work as a contour and not a bronzer. I'm going to be picking out the most cool tone color for this contour. So I'm going in with this center color right here. And luckily with the Jaclyn Hill palette, it does have a big enough pan that you could dive in for contour, bronzer, you could pick out a blush, you could use this as a highlight. So it's a very versatile palette. So we are going to be very particular with where we place these. So we are going to go for that contour underneath. So all it is shading and lighting the face to add different dimensions. So we are going to be using the cheekbone as a guide, and then also a little divot of where a shade would naturally hit your face on your cheeks. So this is acting as a lengthening of your face. This is actually how you would contour to make your jaw more masculine as well. That ended up being a little bit more warm tone than we wanted, but we shall carry on. Again, we are going to go in with our foundation brush, and we are going to blend this in. We also went in with a little bit more specific of a brush, a detailed brush, so I could sharpen that angle out. So one thing that they are very particular about on Game of Thrones is brows. That's what we're going to be going in with next because her brows are so definitive of who she is. So I'm actually noticing that there's a perfect color for this, in this palette. So this one right here, we have the perfect plum. It's a mixture between a brown, a black, and a red tone with her hair color. So I think this plum will be perfect to start out with. And it is pretty dark, so we are going to use a light hand. Getting some of the product on the brush and then tapping it off on the back of the hand is a perfect way to get a little bit off. Her brows are very square and they really don't come to a point. They really are that full-on square. So that's what we will be doing. So typically where we in modern day brow haute couture, it is that straight as an arrow pulled down, but we are actually just going to be filling in and squaring it off. So I find that taking this angled brush and just stamping it, squaring it off, is a really good technique for her brows. Okay, one brow down. I really do think that is the most perfect, beautiful color for the Melisandre look. So now we are going to go in with a little spoolie, brush out any excess product, and making it look a little bit more natural, a little bit more brought together. Now we're going to go in with the Naked Urban Decay palette for our eyeshadow. So one thing about Melisandre's eyes is that they are quite hooded. So we're going to be really going in and contouring throughout the lid. But first I'm going to go in with the color Naked, and I'm just going to dust that everywhere. It's a nice neutral. She has a little bit of warmth. She has a very cool warmth, and so almost like a pink, a little bit of a purple. So I think this nude here is perfect for that. So we have our base down, and now I'm going to go in with this color here to contour out the lid. She has a pretty full outer corner, so I'm actually just going to start the contouring from the center and stop at about 3/4 of the way. So now we are going to go in with the color Wet n Wild Brulee. It's just a single pan, really nice nude color for my skin tone. And we are going to be highlighting that portion that we avoided in the hood of our eyes. Okay, so to lighten up the lids, we're going to go in with that same Brulee color. Just tap it on the center. So I'm trying to avoid any sparkle at whatever cost, because they do not have that in that time, or at least not Melisandre whatsoever. So I'm going to be using the same color for my highlight today as well. So this is also starting the process of contouring our nose. I'll go in and do some detail work on that nose soon. So now we are going to take some blush to start that process as well. I am taking e.l.f. in Berry Mary. Makes me think of Mary Berry if you watch The Great British Bake Off or The Great British Baking Show, whichever way you want to call it. So I'm going to be taking this color. It's very, very pigmented, so I'm going to have to go in with a very light hand. Now we are going to go in with a little detail brush and start the process of contouring. Alright, so now that we have the shape that we want, I'm just going in and blending downwards. So I'm making little almost triangles on the nostrils to give our nose a little bit of an upward nostril. We also took that contour from where we had it and just swung it out. So I really did not like that contour that I had put on. It just was not the right shade. So I'm going in with my beauty blender and just buffing it out and blending it in. And I'm going to go in with that buck shade. I think that worked much better, and working with that a little bit. And to keep it from getting too masculine, I'm going to stop it right there, about half an inch above the bottom of my face. This is a much better taupey shade for what we're trying to get out of this. Now we are going to take the foundation once more, blend in the bottom of that a little bit. Oh yeah, I think that looks much better. So we are also going to take that highlight and highlight the Cupid's bow. I'm also going to take that contour once more and go in to her nose. And she has a full range of lash. We're making it much more circular. Alright, now we are going in with the lips, and I'm really excited about this. I think I have the perfect shade. So we have here Revlon Black Cherry, and I think it's going to be absolutely perfect for what we want with Melisandre. It's just a little bit of a lip stain. I don't have any lip stain, so we're going with a lipstick. I think a lip stain would work very well also. I'm just going to use my finger and tap it onto my finger and then tap it onto my lips. We're just going through and blending, making it look as natural as possible. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. The night is dark and full of terrors, but the fire burns them all away. Have fun watching the premiere, guys. Enjoy this season while it lasts. Bye.